Hey everyone, welcome back.
Yeah.
It's time for another deep dive.
All right.
This one is, well, it's kind of different.
Oh,
Most NAPFTDS meetings we talk about are those big national conferences.
right, right.
This time we're going a little smaller, going regional.
Okay.
The NAPFTDS Region 1 and 2 meeting.
Gotcha.
And, this one was down in San Diego.
Nice.
Always a good time to be in San Diego.
Yeah, especially November.
Oh, yeah, back in November, actually. This one was,
Okay.
Region 1 and 2 meeting. But there's another twist to this one.
Okay, what's that?
This meeting was hosted by a vendor.
Oh, wow. So who was the vendor this time?
It was Advanced Training Systems.
ATS. Okay, yeah, they're big in the simulation world.
They are. And having them as a host, it really changed the whole feel of the meeting.
How so?
Well, for one, it was way smaller than the national conference.
Okay.
Like only 20 to 30 people.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty intimate.
It was. It felt a lot more collaborative,
I bet. So you could really dive deep into the topics.
Yeah, exactly. No pun intended.
Uh-huh. I see what you did there.
So let's get into some of the highlights from the meeting.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, first off, they had some really great speakers.
Oh, yeah, like who?
So one of them was Dave Dean.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah, he co-founded Next Gen in trucking.
Right. He's been a big advocate for getting high schoolers into trucking.
Yeah, exactly. He's been working to set up trucking programs in high schools.
And those programs use a lot of simulators, right?
They do. And Dave, he really hammered home how important simulators are for training new drivers, especially these younger ones.
Makes sense, with the driver shortage and all.
Right. It's all about getting young people excited about trucking as a career.
And simulators are a great way to do that.
They are. It's a safe, controlled environment where they can learn the basics without, worrying about actually being on the road.
It's like a flight simulator, but for trucks.
Exactly.
So who else was speaking?
Okay, so another interesting presentation was by Luciano Jimenez.
Tell me about that.
Well, he talked about the Mexican trucking industry.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and he focused on how technical schools in Mexico are using simulators for driver training.
So it's not just a U.S. thing then?
Nope. It's a global trend.
It's fascinating to see how different countries are approaching driver training,
It is. It shows how interconnected the trucking industry is becoming.
Globalization at its finest.
Right. Okay, so another key part of any NAPFTDS meeting is the regulatory update.
Can't forget about the rules and regulations.
Definitely not. So this time it was Martin Garcia.
Okay, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, along with some folks from the FMCSA.
The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration?
That's the one. They gave a rundown of the latest developments and how NAPFTDS is advocating for the industry.
It's important for everyone to be on the same page when it comes to safety and compliance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The trucking industry, it's heavily regulated.
So staying informed is critical.
For sure. Now, here's where things got really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
Enrique Allen-Mar from ATS gave a presentation about using AI in driver training simulators.
Whoa, hold on. AI in simulators, that sounds pretty futuristic.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's happening.
So how does that work?
Well, imagine a simulator that can personalize the training based on the individual driver.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And it can adapt to different learning styles,
Interesting.
and even predict potential accidents before they happen.
Wow, that's incredible. So the AI is like a virtual driving instructor.
In a way, yeah. It's analyzing the driver's performance, giving feedback, even helping them avoid dangerous situations.
That's a game changer for the industry.
Right. It has the potential to make driver training more effective, more efficient, and ultimately safer.
I'm really curious to see how this technology develops.
Me too. It's cutting-edge stuff.
No.
Okay, so another highlight was the segment dedicated to women in trucking.
Oh, yeah, that's a great organization.
It is. They had representatives there who shared their personal stories about working in the industry.
It's always inspiring to hear those firsthand accounts.
It was really powerful. And they talked about the organization's mission to support women in trucking.
It's so important to have that kind of support system,
Especially in a field that's been traditionally male-dominated.
Exactly.
And they even gave everyone a tour of their mobile museum.
A mobile museum, what's that all about?
So it's this cool, immersive experience that travels around the country.
Oh, wow.
It's nicknamed Whitney, which is like the abbreviation for Women in Trucking, WIT.
Gotcha. So what's inside the museum?
Well, it has an ATS simulator that people can try out,
Cool.
and it also showcases the contributions of women in trucking throughout history.
That's awesome. It's like a traveling billboard for diversity and inclusion in the industry.
Exactly. Okay, so another cool thing about this meeting was that attendees got a behind-the-scenes tour of the ATS facility.
Oh, wow. So they got to see how the simulators are made.
Yeah. They were led by Enrique Mar Jr., the Chief Operations Officer.
That's pretty special access.
It was. They got to see the whole design and manufacturing process.
I bet that was fascinating.
It was. You know, it's one thing to use a simulator, but it's a whole other level to understand how they're actually built.
It gives you a new appreciation for the technology.
For sure. Now, of course, it wasn't all work and no play.
Haha. There's got to be some fun mixed in.
Right. So ATS hosted a fantastic taco party.
Tacos. Everyone loves tacos.
Exactly. And these were Southern California-style tacos,
Ooh, nice.
like handmade on the spot.
Sounds delicious.
That's a great way to unwind and network with everyone.
I bet. So tacos and networking, what more could you ask for?
But they also screened Smokey and the Bandit,
No way! The classic trucking movie.
the one and only. It was a fun blast from the past.
That's awesome. It's good to remember the fun side of trucking, too, you know?
Definitely. So yeah, this NAPFTDS regional meeting, it was definitely unique.
Sounds like it. It had a little bit of everything.
It did. It was a chance to learn about the latest technology, connect with industry leaders, and even have some fun along the way.
And it all focused on the future of trucking.
Right. Especially with AI playing a bigger and bigger role in driver training.
It makes you wonder what the future holds for truck drivers, you know?
It does.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that's our deep dive into the NAPFTDS Region 1 and 2 meeting.
Thanks for joining us.
And keep on trucking.